What is up, Retro Maniacs? Welcome to Short Prints, our short videos about random topics. And this week, we are going to talk a little bit about the Triple Logoman. Big surprise, everybody. But yeah, dominating the card world on auction right now through Golden Auctions. I know, I think both of you guys have bids in so far, right?
I think I outbid EP actually.
Yeah, I was outbid.
I'm the
I was
top
outbid
bidder right now.
I was at the top.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for the end. You know, I like to come in and snipe at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Last couple of second bid.
So let's talk a little bit, first of all, about the card. You know, it has 3 NBA logo patches from LeBron James, 1 of 1, and the logo patches are from 3 different teams that he played for, and of course being Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the LA Lakers. Joe, I know you're a big basketball fan, but yeah, I mean, talk about the card a little bit. I think the card actually is a pretty cool card. I mean, certainly wouldn't have been disappointed if I had pulled it, but yeah, pretty cool looking card, but no autograph on it. So for me, I'd love to see it autoed. I know they can't because they don't have LeBron to do that, but still a pretty cool card overall.
Someone said that I can't take credit for this, but someone said this on Card Twitter, Card YouTube, or whatever. It's a card of 3 pictures of Bill Walton, and I found that hysterical.
That's funny.
That is Bill Walton on that, right?
Yeah.
The card itself it's fine. I mean, if someone pulled that card, and again, I don't know much about basketball. Let's just say it was an NFL shield of Tom Brady, 3 shields or whatever. They pull that card. I'm like, that's a cool card. I wouldn't think it's that cool. I'd be like, okay, cool. Also, let's not forget that you could have done 4 logo men because he was on the Cavaliers twice. So which Cavaliers is it? Is it first year's Cavaliers or is it second year Cavaliers or second time he was on the Cavaliers? It's a cool card, but it's not as cool as people are trying to tell you it is.
AP?
I think it's very unique. I really think it's awesome. And
is it unique? I'm gonna push back here. You like this to argue, Mike? Is it unique? I've seen logo men cards for years. I've seen triple logo men cards with 3 different players on it. That's unique. 3 LeBron.
LeBron maybe has had the greatest NBA career of all time. And so Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time, but I would say maybe that LeBron might have had the greatest career. But I think it's a very cool card. Again, like Mike said, I would absolutely love to have pulled it. I don't know about the hype around it, if it's worth the hype that's around it, but I mean, I think it's a cool concept, cool card. They're all game worn, right? So I mean, you're holding piece of history.
Well, that's what Panini says. I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't bet my life on it that they're all game worn. And let's keep it in perspective. He played in almost 1,700 games in his career. How unique really is it? How many of those games did he wear multiple jerseys? I think it's the hype around it is too big for what it really is, and that's 3 cards with little pieces of jersey that honestly I don't think are very impressive. The card looks like crap, by the way. It's in poor condition. That's why they didn't have it graded. Sorry.
How many other LeBron triple logo men are there though?
Oh well, 1 now. Next year there'll be 2. Next year there'll be 3. We'll it's going to be over and over and over and over again.
Let me interject here because that's a pretty good transition to where I wanted to go with this topic. I want to talk a little bit about the promotion of it and the hype around it. And I think we can really dig in here, but we've all seen the Ken Golden video. He called it the single most important modern trading card ever made. And, we've seen pictures of him standing in Times Square with the big ad on the screen behind him. We've seen Drake, in videos trying to rip 10 cases or whatever, I forget what he even bought, and trying to pull it out of it. So a lot of hype around it, but I think that brings up a really good point when Ken Golden, obviously, his company is auctioning off the card. He is going to promote it. He wants people to think it is the most important card of all time. I don't agree that it is, but it's definitely gotten a lot of press to the non-collecting world. So people that don't collect cards know what it is. They've done a really good job of promoting. But like, my question is it really the most important card when they could literally do this again next year and the year after and year after? Like, not like there's any shortage of LeBron game used jerseys from all those teams and all those games. And I don't know. I don't buy the most important card of modern card of all time.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to our guy Sports Card Dad, because he mentioned in one of his videos recently that, I mean, well, next year they could do playoff logo man LeBron cards. He's been in almost 300 playoff games in his career. They could do a 4 logo man card, where it has Cavalier 1, Heat, Cavalier 2, Lakers.
Could do one just from finals games.
Games, right? I mean, so there are a lot of opportunities. I will say this is what Ken Golden reminds me of, and I apologize for people who don't play fantasy football because I've used fantasy football analogies a lot, but it reminds me of someone trying to make a trade with you and telling you why you should do the trade. Like, this is a great trade for you, and I'm going to tell you why. That's when I know that trade is not good for me.
Isn't that a Joe Day tactic?
That is okay. I feel called out, but
rightfully so.
Ken Golden telling me why this is the most important card of all time, or most important modern card of all time, makes me think probably not. If you have to tell me why it is, it's not.
In the video, does he even really tell you why, or does he just tell you that it is? Like, I know he explains that, it has the logo from jerseys, but like, I don't know that I buy that's really why. I feel more like he's telling you it is, and like,
hopes
you're
that you just
to believe that,
right.
Oh, well, he said it. So
Drake wanted it, so it's got to be up there. It's got to be number 1.
Yeah.
He's a salesman. That's his job, right? Like that's his job to do that. And I don't. I have to admit that I have not seen the video. Flawless is something that is totally off my radar. Like, it's not. I don't care about any of the cards, and I've never watched a break of any Flawless or anything like that. Like, it's just not my cup of tea in any way. I mean, I have not bought into the hype machine. I did see the tweet of the photo in Times Square, and I'm like, man, that's some serious sales tactics there. Like, that's it. The bottom line to me is like, it's too over the top for me.
Yeah, a little too obvious, like what he's doing. Like, like I said, I don't think he told me why it's the most important modern card of all time. He's just telling me it is because he wants it to go for a lot of money, which what they expect is going to go for like $3 million. I mean,
yeah. I mean, he tried to compare it to the exquisite LeBron rookie, and he said, "Oh, this only has 1 logo, man, and the guy wouldn't even sell it for $10 million." Well, yeah, it's also a rookie. It's also an autographed rookie, and it's also highly graded. I mean, to even compare those two things,
they're not the same.
It was one of the dumbest comparisons. It made him look like an idiot to compare it with that card. I mean, and the fact that, people are clamoring over it because Drake wanted it. All this is a trophy for rich men. That's all it is. It's I want to prove that I can get this card and spend more money than you can to get it. That's all this is.
Now, going back to Drake, do you feel like he truly wanted to get this card? Do you think that was sincere, or was maybe he a paid endorser to come in to influence the product? Like, that makes me wonder. Like, maybe he does. I mean, I know he's a huge basketball fan, yes, and like, he probably, like, he very well may have wanted it, but like, you can't tell me that whether he initially wanted to get into it or not, that everything around how they did it, having the YouTube videos of him doing it, that was all there to promote that card in case he got it. and to try to make this card out to be the most important modern card of all time. And again,
when do you think the
ahead.
campaign? When do they think like the campaign or the thought started? Like, this is going to be the biggest card of all time. When do you think they started thinking that and turning it into this? Like, how long ago do you think? It was probably as soon as they announced it was going to happen, right?
Yeah, you have to figure like the whole intent of them putting that in the product was to get that one card that they wanted to push to the moon. It's like a wrestler, they're just going to push it on you till everybody is worked up in a frenzy about it. And I feel like that was the plan from day one. I could totally be wrong, just my opinion, but like kind of feels like that to me. Like everything, now here we are, it's finally for sale, people are finally bidding. When you sit here and now you look back at all the steps and how they happened, kind of feels like it was all just kind of the plan all along, right?
Yeah, and the Drake thing, I don't know what was more cringeworthy, by the way, as an aside. I don't know what was more cringeworthy, that Golden video or LeBron taking his talents to South Beach. I mean, it was just, they've been pushing this. And we talked about this during one of our first pods about influencers in the hobby. And we kind of looked at it from like YouTube influencers, people with a lot more subscribers than we have. But I mentioned, star influencers, and I used Drake as the example. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is kind of in on the game a little bit. I don't know if he's really that concerned, because honestly, if I'm Drake, unless I'm using this as a trophy, there are so many more cards I could spend that money on that would make my collection look a lot better than a triple logo man that, again, kind of, if they sent it to be graded, it probably would have came back a PSA 6. Doesn't look great. They had, and it's a card, by the way, that card wasn't in a box. It was in one of the 3 cards that Flawless has already encased. How that card looks so bad when it went from someone's hands to from the facility into the case. By the way, can we talk about how Backyard Breaks pulled it? I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but my goodness, the fact that Backyard Breaks and not just some rando pulled it makes me kind of think that case was marked. It was either going to go to Drake or it was going to go to Backyard Breaks. And I think it went to Backyard Breaks instead of Drake, because if Drake had it, he would have just kept it, right? Supposedly. Backyard Breaks, now you've got all the promotion for Backyard Breaks pulling it. You got all the promotion of it doing its little golden auctions tour. I don't know. I don't know. It seemed a little fishy to me that Backyard Breaks, of all people, pulled that card.
Joe, the conspiracy theorist. Yeah. Well, they do.
Am I wrong, though?
They do seem to pull an awful lot of big cards. They just pulled something out recently, too, didn't they?
It was like the NFL Shield.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was the Brady. Was it Brady or was it Mac Jones? Like, it was the NFL Shield.
So people are starting to catch on a little bit that, hey, why do they always do it? So I mean, I'm not getting involved in that, but
at least they gave this one away, or actually gave it to the rightful owner, I assume. I mean, the other thing too we need to discuss is the fact that this is not even close to the most important card in modern history. That's the Prism Black 101 Mac Jones, right?
No, clearly, yeah.
It's already sold for $100,000 twice, right?
Twice.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of selling, so let's talk a little bit about the value of the card. I mentioned that I think they expect to get $3 million out of it. We're at what, 1.8 million, I believe it is, with about a week to go. We haven't thrown our bids in yet, so definitely gonna go higher. But where do you think it's gonna end up? Think they'll get 3? Think they'll get more?
I think it'll go over. I don't think it should, but I think it will. And like I said, it's just a competition with a bunch of rich guys that just want to say, I got this over you. And I got, I'm rich guy number 1. I got it over rich guy number 2. That's what it feels like to me.
It's and about the hype machine too, right? Like everybody's buying into the hype. Like it's all there. Like it's working. And
Yeah, I
Mark
agree.
Cuban. Maybe
and
Mark Cuban will buy it. Who knows? Or
maybe.
something like that.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes substantially over that for all the reasons you mentioned, Joe. And, it really makes you wonder, though, like, where is this going to become the norm now for card collecting? Like, we could talk all day, but we don't have enough time to do it here about whether or not this is good or not for the hobby. I don't know. But do you think this is going to be something that we see more of going forward? This, like, one big hit, like the ultimate hit that is going to be hyped to the moon?
I think they have to. I mean, like I was going to say just a couple minutes ago, like if you're Panini and Drake shows interest in your product and he calls you up, you're going to maybe give him a discount or send him a couple extra cases because of the amount of free advertising you're going to get from that. And I feel like if you're a card company and you're looking at this and you're not planning to have your whatever logo man, whatever card that is for your product, like you're not, I mean, you're doing it wrong. Like you got to take advantage of that, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we know that sports card companies aren't the best at marketing, but if you have somebody like Drake or similar person calling you up wanting it, I mean, doesn't take the smartest person in the room to figure out that's an opportunity you should take.
And they've got to, every year they're going to have to do it bigger, right? I mean, okay, this is a triple logo man. Cool. Is the quad logo man next year? Is it, maybe trying to find, I mean, they already did Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron in a triple logo man before. Give me that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Give me that one.
I'm taking that card all day. Like, you want to talk about important? I know. I don't know what important means when it comes to trading cards, and I don't know what Golden's cutoff was for his modern card, but yeah, give me LeBron and Kobe, and
I mean, it's at least 2003, right? Because he did mention the exquisite, and we talked about this in our group thread. To me, I think it's the Tom Brady playoff contenders auto. I mean, there's a lot of cards out there that you could individually, it's so subjective, right? You could go in and say, no, that's the most important card in modern history. And for someone to have to explain to me why it is, it kind of makes me question if it actually is.
Yeah, important is different to every other person, right? Like that. Yeah. Everybody's out there as far as something like a collectible. Like important is
a really weird word to use when you're pushing a trading card. Like
a piece of cardboard with a man's face on it, right?
Yeah, like important is just really weird. Like I don't know how you define important when it comes to trading cards, and like it's very subjective. Everybody else would have a different opinion if you asked them about it. Well, speaking of which, I guess we did a little poll on Twitter, and 93% it was, we're in the not the most important modern card of all time. So we're not in the minority for once.
Can we get those 7% onto the channel and add some why?
Ken Golden must be following us. I don't know.
Right.
They're all Panini employees, right?
They're all Panini employees. They're all Golden Auction employees. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, guys. Well, I just want to sincerely wish you the best of luck in your bidding. And, I don't, we have 3 chances to get it. That's all I know. Let's
just pull our money. Let's pull our money and put in a couple.
No, I mean, I don't want to share it.
It's a competition with Rich.
It is.
It's got 3 logos, 3 of us. I don't know. Just cut it into pieces. Yeah.
I don't want you two to have it, but if I can't have it, I hope it's one of you, So best of luck in your bidding, and we'll be back next week. Take care, guys.
Sounds good. See ya.